In this video, I'm going to quickly show how to analyze the data to plot the graph in order to find the coefficient of static friction. So you will be doing about 8 trials for this lab. So the first number here is the mass of the block. So this is just the mass of the block without any mass on top of it. Okay, and I showed you in the previous video lecture that this mass or the weight of this mass is the normal force. If you draw a free body diagram, because the block is not moving up or down, so that means the weight should be equal to the normal force. Okay, so change this weight, actually this is in terms of gram, not kilogram. So change this total mass of the block to kilogram by dividing this by 1000 and then multiply that by 9.8. That will give you the weight of the block, which is also the normal force. Okay, let me show you how you do that. So write equal and then divide this number. So select this cell and divide that by 1000. That is the mass in kilogram, and that times 9.8 is the weight of the block, which is also the normal force. Okay, and then you can so put your cursor at this corner, you will see a plus sign, and double click there and you will see the normal force for different amounts of weights on the block. And then this is the hanging mass, that is just enough to move the block with these masses. Okay, so this is in gram, so let me write it in gram, and you will convert this to kilogram and multiply by 9.8. That will give you the weight of the hanging object or hanging mass, which is also the maximum static friction. Okay, so that's what I did here. So you write equal sign, select that, divide by 1000, that will give you the mass in kilogram, and that times 9.8 gives you the weight of the hanging object, which is the maximum static friction. And then you double click that, that gives you the maximum static friction. So in this lab you will be plotting the graph of normal force versus the maximum static friction. Okay, so you can plot the graph, scatter plot, and then just like before you will put y-axis and x-axis label. So here y-axis is maximum static friction and x-axis is normal force. Please do not forget that, and write the chart title, which is maximum static friction versus normal force. Okay, and in order to find the coefficient of static friction, you can add trend line and display equation, and this number, the slope 0.38, that's the coefficient of static friction. Okay, so that's what you are trying to find. Again, I will let you guys put the chart title and y and x-axis labels because I have already shown that in the previous video lecture. Basically this is what you want to find.